Hey, in this episode of Resilient Business, I speak with Sara Viau of Mind Body Balance in Florida. Sara is a holistic practitioner who deals with helping folks through detox and the effects of environmental, chemical, and emotional stress. She also is a specialist in regards to helping to mitigate uh, electro-smog and the negative effects of EMF radiation. So I think you'll really enjoy this episode with Sara, and we appreciate you watching Resilient Business. If you like what you see on this show, please like, comment, and subscribe, and also check out my partners below, my affiliate partners for great products and great discounts. Hope you enjoy. First of all, welcome, Sara. It's great to see you. And it's been a little while since we've chatted. And I'm really, super happy to have you on the call on the show here. And I thought we would just start by just asking you your journey up to the place where you currently are and the business you're currently in.
Yeah,
Typically, that follows a pretty interesting path. And so I was just hoping to get your story and how did you end up where you are now?
yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me on, Joe. I appreciate it. Pleasure to be here. And yeah, so I grew up knowing that I wanted to help others, make others feel comfortable, feel good. Wasn't sure if that was going to kind of gear towards humans or animals. So I was raised around alternative, modalities growing up. I grew up in California. So I think starting at age one, I was seeing a chiropractor, naturopathic doctor, into essential oils. I had the opportunity to work for a father and son chiropractic company in La Jolla, California. So, exposed to alternative modalities. I actually ended up going into the education field, and I worked with those who are affected by autism and similar learning differences. And I did that for 15 years. So I did, behavior management, and that kind of turned into mindset coaching, working on social skills with these kiddos. So kind of a nice progression of just being able to support, help, guide different individuals in the community. And, that kind of turned into, okay, assisting ones with behavior, some emotional support, again, social skills. I was kind of seeing this area that I really wanted to address and kind of like tap into, and that was stress management. So over the course of 15 years in education, I was trying to figure out a way to address stress for of the students, whether it was environmental stress, emotional stress, mental stress, or if it was all of those stressors for their family, for the educational staff, how to bridge that gap to really help everyone connect on a deeper level. So that kind of led me into neurolinguistics. I actually started out, I learned neurolinguistics, opened up my own practice doing that, worked with some of the older students and then their family, and eventually just started incorporating different modalities into my practice. Biofeedback was one of my major modalities that I started with, and I started that because a lot of the kiddos that I worked with in young adults, they were not able to verbally express how they were feeling. And so that's where biofeedback came in. I was able to see some of these emotional stressors without them actually having to verbally say those things. And then also reduce that stress. I just saw such a benefit. So, again, just started integrating different modalities into my practice. And it's just kind of been very, very natural. Everything has kind of come my way at just the right time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been really,
Yeah.
really neat.
Excellent. And how long have you been in your current practice then?
Yeah. So on my own current practice, 2 years now. So relatively new, but something I've been working on, getting the proper education and then being able to slowly just, open up on my own was kind of the progression there.
Sure. So biofeedback, neurolinguistic, what other sort of categories would you put in that you're offering these days?
Yeah. So with the neurolinguistics, that kind of helps bridge the gap between the conscious and the subconscious. Why are we feeling what we're feeling? Why are we doing what we're doing? Are there any other choices? Is it just black and white, or is there, one, two, three, four, many more options to consider? That's what neurolinguistics helps to address. Biofeedback helps to address the energetic homeostasis of the body. And so, kind of what I was seeing was, yes, the emotional support through neurolinguistics was helpful. Yes, the energetic support, getting the body into homeostasis, was helpful with biofeedback, but I still wasn't really finding results for pain management or for reducing inflammation in the body. That's where Pulse Center's PEMF came in. So I actually had worked with PEMF in the past, and I met a wonderful practitioner who introduced me to Pulse Center's PEMF, and I tried the equipment out in her office. I actually have my own Pulse Center's PEMF story, but right off the bat, I was completely sold. I was like, this is it. This is what I need to add to the practice to add that level, that building block of growth. So,
and is that because you realized that you were getting clients that came in that were dealing with issues that the PEMF tends to address? And that's why you sort of did that. Did you how did it flow? Did you have some patients that were coming in that you wished you could help and you were looking for something? And then you met that practitioner and then you went and tried it and then you liked it and you had a personal story around it too. And that kind of is the way it evolved. Is that accurate? Or
Yeah. So the way that happened, so I was working with different PEMF to assist with pain management, and I really wasn't getting the results that the clients weren't getting the results that they wanted. I don't use any modality in my practice that I haven't personally had such an amazing result from. I just don't feel comfortable, doing that. So if there's a modality that, wow, that worked for me, okay, now family, wow, that worked for them, friends, that worked for them, it's coming into the practice full force, So the other PEMF just didn't get there, it just didn't accomplish that. And in the midst of that, so my Pulse Center's PEMF story is, I decided to redecorate my house on a Friday night, 9:30 p.m. I picked up a piece of glass, like a glass cylinder with candle in it. And it broke because of the weight distribution. And I sliced my pinky open. I actually went through a nerve. I went through a tendon and couldn't move it, completely numb. I had to get 7 stitches in this 1-inch, area here. It was horrendous. It was really, really bad. So I tried my PEMF, really didn't cut it. Of course, I let it kind of heal up enough so that, once I did use PEMF, that it was ready for that. I actually saw an orthopedic surgeon and he goes, you're going to need nerve repair. You're going to need tendon repair on that area, 6 months of a cast and 6 months to rehabilitate, to get that area back working and functioning. And I was just like, wow, that's a whole year of my life, to try and get this stabilized, basically. So I was like, I know PEMF works, but I just don't have the right equipment. And so that's when I started, okay, what other brands, PEMF brands can I look into? I found Pulse Center's PEMF. And just within the first session, I used the rings, on this area. I got half of my range of motion back in that finger. And I was actually able to feel the tip of my pinky where I wasn't able to before. So I wouldn't be able to lift it up further than this. And after just one session, I was able to lift it up this much, then this much, as the sessions progressed. And now I have full mobility, no surgery. The nerve is healed, the tendon is healed, and I can feel my finger again. I mean, what better results can you ask for? So, so yeah, as far as clients, clients will come in ankle sore, they're doing heavy lifting, they're doing bodybuilding competitions, they want to be ready, golf competitions, they want to be ready. And so that's what we're here for. Pulse centers, PEMF has your back, so they come in and they get the support that they need on a cellular level. They walk out of here feeling so much more energized. They have that range of motion, no pain when they walk out the door. What better can you ask for?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Definitely. I appreciate it. And, we know that the body is created and designed to heal itself. And a lot of times the reason that the body doesn't heal itself as thoroughly or as quickly, perhaps, or as quickly as it did when we were younger, perhaps, any of those, is due, for the most part, to a lack of energy in the body and particularly in the cells. And so, Pulse PMF basically applies that energy to the body, penetrating the cells, raises the energy level in the body, allowing it to do what it does by itself. It really is not, the machine is not curing, preventing, treating any illness. No, it doesn't repair nerves. It doesn't repair tendons. Your body repairs those things. And when given the proper fuel and energy levels to do that, it does it better. It is basically the long and short of it. And so that's kind of what happened with you. I love that story. I appreciate it. With your other clients, the ones that aren't necessarily dealing with pain, but they're dealing with other issues of stress or anxiety or other, emotional issues, if you will. Do you ever delve into the PMF for those clients?
I do. I find that when the clients, do the full body PEMF sessions, that it helps the body get into homeostasis. It helps the body get into that parasympathetic state, which that's the restorative state, the detox state. That again, it's creating an environment which is allowing the body to heal itself naturally. And that's what we're looking for. So absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. And you mentioned a word that's, I think, becoming more and more, well, I'm going to say popular, but it's not a fortunate situation by which it's becoming more popular, and that's detox. And so, have you seen an uptick or more of an awareness in your client base in terms of understanding that they need detoxification?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that when the client experiences, they have that feeling, they feel lighter, they feel alleviated, whatever that feeling is, they now associate it with, wow, that's because my body just naturally detoxed because it had the environment to do so. And that's what gets people, oh, I get it. That bridge has been, joined, connected. They understand that. And so, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And what range, what are people toxified from these days? Is it more chemical? Is it more nutritional? Well, nutritional can be chemical, I guess. What are some of the reasons that you're seeing, in your clients?
Yeah, so it just depends on their background, what their lifestyle, what kind of water did they drink? Because drinking water, it's about the quality of the water. People can drink gallons of water every single day, but be chronically dehydrated, right? So proper water, was there something in the water that made it hard for the body to naturally detox itself? Food. Were there items in food, dyes? There's all these different environmental toxins, even EMFs, what the EMFs do on a cellular level to that cellular membrane doesn't allow for the cell to detox. And so without the bombardment of that chaos, now the body can actually let go, right? There's less inflammation. The cell can let go. But speaking of let go, the emotional component is, I find a lot of clients who have this physical and emotional disconnect where they haven't become aware yet of the letting go, emotionally letting go, which then turns into the body holding on, right? And so sometimes it is holding on to toxins, right? Whether that's in the lymphatic system or just somewhere in the body, the liver, the kidneys. And so again, providing all the building blocks, all the puzzle pieces, and using each piece to make a bigger picture, now the body is able to heal. And one modality won't work for everybody. And, the combination of and the time spent, everybody is so different. Mm-hmm. Everyone needs something different. And as long as we have access to these resources and these modalities, again, we can give the body, the mind and body, what it needs to heal itself naturally. Mm-hmm. We just provide the environment. That's what we're here for. Provide the environment. So.
Yeah, indeed. And it interests me to think about the fact that there are so many modalities, therapies, approaches to dealing with these symptoms and problems that folks are experiencing. But people don't always think about that detox component. And that's just become more and more obvious and evident to me recently, because, it's almost like you wouldn't wax your car before washing it.
Right.
And
exactly.
So you're just going to be moving around the dirt, basically, and probably making it harder to remove.
Absolutely.
So you wash the car first, get it pristine. In other words, detoxify, if you want to think of that parallel. And then whatever you end up doing as an approach, to go at the root cause of those issues, you'll have a better chance, probability of success.
Right.
So I really, it's not that I like the subject of detox, but I think it's really interesting. And I think Pulse fits into that, category. So I'm talking about that more and more, but I find it appropriate in a lot of different settings. So I appreciate all that feedback, Sara.
Yeah. I just, whether the body needs the balancing of connection between systems, if it just needs a little bit more assistance getting into homeostasis, if it needs assistance with detox, so the mind and body is going to figure that out. And this Pulse Center's PEMF is here to just do its thing and let the body do the rest, right? Mm-hmm. So beautiful outcome, no matter what.
Sure. So. Did you want to talk at all about, I know that you're involved with the EMF radiation protection type products. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah. So, I work with the company EMF Solutions, and essentially looking for, anyone who's interested in kind of learning more about EMFs, the science behind EMFs, how it affects the human body. If there are ones like that, they can sign up if they're here local in Florida or even around, United States. We have other reps in other states that will go out to the home or to the business office and measure what kind of radiation is coming, out of this technology within our environment, because again, this is a building block, so maybe we're eating wonderful food. Maybe we are able to absorb or partially absorb this food, maybe partially detox, but EMF harmonization and neutralization is so key because a lot of what happens on a cellular level is affected by EMF, radiation. So as a practitioner, we'll go in and measure these homes or offices, kind of see what numbers we're finding and then provide a solution. What products are needed to neutralize EMFs. So again, I provide this because it's a building block. One modality that doesn't fit all, doesn't, completely solve this, that, or the other thing. It's a mix of building blocks. And this is one of them. This is a major area of health and wellness. So yeah, we do provide that as well.
And I think that's another topic that just gets more important by the week these days.
Yeah.
With the way technology is evolving and progressing and accelerating, the frequencies, sort of the aberrant frequencies that are being put out and emitted by some of these devices, really, I guess, up the need for protection. And just to clarify for listeners who, may be new to this topic, we've talked about PEMF being a good thing, and we've talked about EMF being potentially not a good thing and something you need to protect yourself from. And so really, if you look at the spectrum of all EMFs, the ultra low frequency pulsed EMFs, which is, like pulse centers and others provide, are on one end of the spectrum, the ultra low frequency end of the spectrum, and things like 5G and microwaves and cell towers and blue light emitted from TVs and screens like we're looking at right now are at the higher end of the frequencies. And so there have been studies done that show these ultra low pulsed EMFs can even help to offset or mitigate to a degree some of the, we call it electro-smog, being put out by some of these sort of electrification type devices. And those are just getting more and more prevalent every single day in all walks of life all over the earth. And so there's almost no way to outrun it. So it's becoming more important to defend against it. Kind of stand up and say, whatever, I can't really choose what's coming at me necessarily in the environment. I need to do something to kind of put my armor up against it.
Right. And what, I have found is polarity. What do these frequencies do to our polarity? We look at pulse centers, PEMF, that helps the polarity. It gets the polarity where it needs to be to allow the body to heal itself naturally. Whereas a lot of this human-made technology actually completely imbalances that polarity. So what frequency helps to allow for that, balance to occur? That's what we want to really look at, that polarity.
Yeah. There's another topic out there called Cymatics. Really interesting science there, where they're sort of applying a frequency to a metal plate with sand on top. Are you familiar with that? Have you seen any of that?
No.
And they set the frequency to different numbers, to different frequencies, and a literal design will appear in the sand. It's amazing. So it's another thing around frequencies, and some of them being positive and some of them being not so positive or helpful to the body. Fascinating topic. I appreciate it. Switching gears a little bit. You've been in business 2 years, so it sounds like you started your business right before maybe early 2020.
I did.
So can you tell us a little bit about how 2020 treated you and what you sort of learned and how you've come through that?
Yeah. So, I opened my practice right before the pandemic. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I really didn't know what that would look like, sound like, feel like. But what I did know is that I wanted to create a space that people felt safe in, that people felt that they could come to just kind of de-stress, right? So I had all of my modalities in place. I had my schedule, and the individuals, the clients who felt comfortable seeing me, they came and saw me for sessions, and we were able to work a certain amount of distance apart from each. So these individuals felt safe. And I have to say, I'm really grateful, because there really wasn't a day where I had to, close or shut down. Just kind of, I was open the whole time. So again, super thankful and grateful for that. And, communication. I made sure that the clients felt safe, and they did. And so, there was ebbs and flows, ups and downs, but throughout it all, I just knew what my intention was and what I wanted to provide. And those who felt safe to do so, they followed suit. So it was a nice, just kind of feel for the beginning of that year. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Well, great. I'm glad you came through it. And now, hopefully we can look back on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Who knows what'll happen. And it's nice being in Florida too, I would imagine.
Yes, true.
The weather's nice. You get plenty of sunshine, plenty of vitamin D.
Yes.
So that can't be bad at all. Have you given any thought to how you see your specific industry sort of evolving from here, maybe near term or long term, whatever your thoughts might be?
So for me personally, as a practitioner, I am continually learning. The continued education never stops. I'm always a student. And so with that comes new knowledge, new technology. And so for me, doing my best to go with the flow and be open to new modalities. Look, if there's a modality that's not helping others, then we're going to just go ahead and stop that modality. Let's integrate a new one that helps people. So, for me, what does my practice look like? I'm open to any modality that is going to allow the client to heal their body naturally, right? So kind of just looking forward with excitement to kind of see, what that might bring. And I think, again, as a practitioner, being open to that, being open to grow. Growing is not necessarily, and change is not necessarily comfortable, but when the intention is that we want individuals to feel better, then it just all flows very nicely, and it occurs, when the time is right. So
yeah, definitely. All right. Well, great. I appreciate that. Are there any parting thoughts, anything else you want to talk about or promote? And if not, if someone wants to find out about Mind Body Balance Florida, how would they best do that?
Yeah. So my website, it's www.mindbodybalancefl as in Florida.com. So they can reach me there through email. I'll also, maybe post my number down here to get direct, contact. So that works out, well. And as far as message, just connecting. We all need each other right now. And being in a space of empowering ourselves by taking on our own perspective, not adopting other narratives, but creating our own. Let's be the creator of our own life, not taking on someone else's, which takes that power away from us. And again, connecting with others. There is a direct impact on our health and wellness when we don't feel connected to other people, and when we don't feel connected to community and or source. So connecting on that level so that we can share stories, we can share our experience, and we can empower each other. That is where health and wellness begins. So that's what I would like to share.
Yeah, that's excellent. I mean, I think that's advice that, goes 100 miles an hour right now in today's society. And the way things have been right now. That's great advice. So, Sara, I appreciate you being on Resilient Business. I think this was a great discussion, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks so much for having me. Very grateful.
Thank you.